We're still in it, still inside the octave of Easter. 8 days, but one single celebration. Liturgically, every day this week is Easter Sunday. It's the church's way of saying, don't move on too quickly. Let the mystery sink in. Let the joy rise slowly. Let the resurrection take hold of your whole being. And yet this week, joy had to sit beside grief. Because on Easter Monday, we learned that Pope Francis had died. It was jarring. And even though he had been in frail health in the past couple of months, it still caught many of us off guard. It's a particular kind of grief when someone who helped guide our faith is now suddenly gone. There's a disorienting weight to it. Yesterday afternoon, I was on my way to a doctor's appointment. And on the way, I passed the Apostolic Nunciature, the Vatican's embassy here in the United States. I didn't plan to stop, but something pulled at me. And I saw the door open. So I walked toward it. I saw people dressed formally. I imagined they were diplomats. They were signing a book. I asked quietly if the book of condolences was only for officials, or if someone like me could also sign it. They welcomed me in. And as I sat down to write, the tears surprised me. And I realized how much Pope Francis shaped my faith, my journey, and my yes to religious life. He was a pastor who chose to be close to the people, a man who lived the gospel with gentleness and strength, who constantly asked, who is missing from our table? And how do we bring them home? He taught me that mercy is not a side note, it's the melody. And in my own discernment, slow, winding, and full of questions, his witness helped me to trust the Spirit's nudge, to step forward, to believe that there was a place for me too. There was so much to say thank you for, and I didn't know how much it would mean to say it in that moment. In today's gospel, we're no longer on the road to Emmaus. We're back in the upper room. The disciples who walked away have returned to Jerusalem, and they were sharing their story and how Jesus was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. And just then, Jesus appears right there in their midst, and he says, "Peace be with you." But they're startled, they're confused, maybe still in shock from everything that's happened. Jesus doesn't shame them. He shows them his wounds. He eats in front of them, something real, something tangible. And then he opens their minds. He helps them understand that everything that they've been taught, everything written in the law and in the prophets has led to this. And then he sends them. You are witnesses of these things, he says. Not once they figured it all out. Not once their grief is gone, but now. In the first reading from Acts, Peter speaks to a crowd amazed by a healing. And he says, this isn't about us. This is about Jesus, the one who was crucified, the one whom God raised. And that same Jesus is still working, still healing, still calling people back to life. That's the paradox of this week. Joy and sorrow mingled together. Resurrection and mourning side by side. And in the middle of all of it, Jesus still appears. He still offers peace, still shows us his wounds, and still sends us. We're not called to be perfect, but we're called to be witnesses. So we witness with gratitude, with reverence, with hearts still healing. We remember Pope Francis not only for his leadership, but for his love for the poor, for the forgotten, for the church. And we honor him best by taking up the mission he never stopped living. This is the day that the Lord has made. even in our tears, even in transition, even in awe. So we walk forward together, witnesses of these things.